All right, so I'm live with 52 weeks of live coding MLOps, and I'm going to live code MLOps. So I'm going to get into, I'm going to go back to Ludwig, which is something that's been on my radar lately. Actually, what was I going to cover? No, I was going to cover MLrun today. I'm going to cover MLrun. We'll go back and forth. We'll do all kinds of stuff. So MLrun, I think, has been an interesting one to play around with because there's a lot of new exciting things happening. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to get into MLrun, and we'll play around with this. So if we go to MLrun, here we go. This is MLrun, and we take a look at it. Here we go. One of the really cool things about MLrun is that you can, there's some new ways to interact with this MLOps orchestration framework, and in particular, they have the concept of serverless functions that you deploy, and you can see here this is kind of the whole process with MLrun, and there's warehouses, operational data, you build a production pipeline, you have feature store, CI/CD pipeline, real-time serving pipeline, all this stuff, and so what we can do to start off with here is go to the quick start guide, right? So let's go ahead and dive right into this. And what I'm going to do is kind of go back and forth here for the documentation. So if we take a look here, it says before you start using MLrun client, go ahead and do a pip install MLrun and make sure the environment is set, pointing to a local or Kubernetes-based service. So let's try it out. Let's see if we can get this thing cooking. So I'm going to go to GitHub, and I'm going to go into new environments, and I'm going to create a new repository called MLrun Quick Start, and I'm going to do like try out new MLOps framework. There we go. Let's try this out. I'm going to add README. I'm going to go through here. I'm going to go do get a NOR file, Python. Here we go. So first up, the thing that I think would be fun to play around with is that I want to create a code space. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's go here. Let's pick a beefy code space because I'm going to be doing containers and all kinds of stuff. And let's start with that. And now I'm going to change my environments. Let's go here, Visual Studio. Go here, color theme. Dark. Okay, got a Visual Studio. And now the first thing that I like to do is probably set up a virtual environment. I'm not a fan of the Conda. I'm going to go in here and build out the virtual environment and source it. There we go. Put this in my bash RC. And also, just since I'm here, we'll do this, and let's just put in here, what do they want me to do? They want me to do scikit-learn 1, sure, let's do that. Okay, and what else do they want me to do? MLrun, okay. Do here. Okay, so we got these in here, got the requirements, and I'll also just make a quick little make file here, just because I hate having to deal with things that could be automated. So for me, a make file is about automating things, and let's do here. Flow intro. Nope. I'm just trying to find a make file of something I did recently. Here we go. Quick startup in AI. This looks pretty good. There we go. That's what I care about. I just want a quick little install, make file. We'll go here, add it in there. Okay, so I'm going to say source bash rc. Okay, I didn't put the virtual environment code in there first, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to say source venv, then activate. Okay, got that. And then I'm going to do a make install. Perfect, got that working. And now that I got that cooking, it's looking good. Okay, so we're installing both fasts. What are we installing? MLrun. So we're installing MLrun, and we're doing second learn. So MLrun is definitely importing a lot of stuff here, which is interesting, and it's going to take a little bit to build. And let's go ahead and try this out. Now, I'm going to how to easily train it and deploy models to production. We're going to use this framework. Here's a video tutorial. Before you do it, make sure you've done pip install and MLrun. Okay, so we did do that. And so let's just double check that this is going to work. So it's right now it's installing the deploy dependencies or the build dependencies. I'm going to open up another bash terminal because this is what I like to do just to see like if I run htop, like, hey, what's going on here? And so it's compiling something. I don't know what it's compiling, but it's compiling something. Can I see what it's NumPy. Yeah, NumPy is just can be really annoying to install. Okay. Oh, of course, our classic problem. Every time I try to use NumPy, well, fortunately, I have a workaround here. So GitHub Codespaces sometimes has problems with Python versions and everything, but fortunately for me, recently, I was able to compile Python from scratch. I don't want to compile it again for time, but recently, what did I do? Compile Python. Here we go. So we have a compile Python repo. You can see I did all these steps. I'm just going to use this thing because I'd done it a while back, and it's a nice, fresh version of Python. And I don't think we'll need to do much to tweak it. In fact, it would be kind of cool to actually make a fork of a environment in GitHub Codespaces. I guess you could do this with a container, so you could compile your code inside of a container. That's definitely something you could do. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use this environments, and I'm going to go to color theme and just make it black. Okay, so we got this thing working, and I think if I say which Python, this is a new version of Python that should work pretty. Yeah, see, we have Python 3.10. I compiled it myself, and so I'm going to go to the requirements here, and I'm going to install MLrun, and I'm going to install the scikit-learn stuff. So we go through here. So I'm definitely not necessarily making this install super easy, but in theory, I'm an advanced Python user. 20 plus years should let me hopefully figure out if there's problems and get around them. All right, so we're compiling. We're installing, not compiling, and things appear to be running very well with both, what is this? The Rust toolchain cargo. The Rust package manager is not installed. Well, that's annoying. Okay, so I guess we'll do that. Let's definitely do that. So I guess what would you do here? You would just in my make file, I could say install Rust. I mean, yeah, this seems interesting. Okay, so we'll say make install. So it goes through. It does all. Well, actually, let me think about this. Hold on. If this is truly a dependency that I can't even install Python until I have Rust, which seems weird, let's just do that. Okay, proceed with installation. There we go. And we're going to install Rust. Now, I was just doing some Rust stuff earlier today, and I think Rust installation is generally pretty mellow. Now, what is it? What did it say here? It said to configure your current shell, do that. Well, that's not good. So, yeah. So we did. I'll just comment this out. But that's definitely annoying that you have to install Rust. But it is what it is. Okay, we're installing MLrun. No. Checking for Rust. Let's see here. Caused by cargo minute. Do you have cargo in your path? Okay, maybe we don't. Maybe we need to source home. Let's try. Does cargo work? Oh, that does seem like it works. Let's just add this just in case. Right, so we source the cargo. Now, and then I'll source the bash RC again. Yeah, weird, very weird that, again, the cargo install is definitely seems interesting, but let's try this out. I don't know who is it? Is it Ludwig or is it who wants the? Let's uncomment Ludwig for a second, and let's just see who it is that's asking for the Rust. That's always a good place to start with is, does anything work? Right, so if you start commenting out requirements here, this is one way to get yourself out of trouble, maybe, but we're about to find out. Of course, I'm not doing what they told me in the quick start, so I do bear some blame here in that I should be, there are some ways to do MLrun, I believe, with Colab. So I'll probably also try that as well. But let's try this real quick. Is it PyArrow that wants Rust? Who is it that wants Rust? But interesting. And I guess if we go here, do I have another terminal open? If I do htop, what the heck is happening? So we're again compiling something. What is being compiled? NumPy. Again, NumPy. Wait, NumPy is like the kiss of death on GitHub Codespaces. There we go. NumPy wouldn't install. Thank you. That's interesting. This error originates from probably, well, very, very weird that NumPy is having issues installing. The library's, library LPAC was not found. Huh. Let's see if we can find this. See if we can fix it easy. Ubuntu. Let's try that. Let's see if this works. And this is kind of a typical dependency hell problem. That happens when you're dealing with Linux. And it's like, this I can't even tell you how many years in my life I've spent doing this kind of stuff, is trying something over and over and over and over again until you can get it to install. But regardless, even if I can't get it to install, just use Colab, which I think is definitely the way to go. But it is interesting, this PyArrow seems to be potentially a train wreck. I don't know. Using PyArrow, and let's look at the compilation. So it's doing something, and well, it looks like it's doing more stuff. Let's go back here. Yeah, this is why is it PyArrow seems PyArrow. Why is it that PyArrow seems like it could be a real problem? PyArrow. PyArrow Python bindings, in-memory analytics. Interesting. I've definitely heard of it, but like, look at this. I mean, this PyArrow is like doing an amazing amount of stuff here. Like, I think PyArrow is finding the cure for cancer right now, and unfortunately, it failed. So yeah, this approach, unfortunately, so it is MLrun, and it does look like PyArrow is causing an issue. So no problem. What I can do is I can actually instead try to do this inside of a Colab notebook. So let's go ahead and try that. So let's just abandon ship, go to Colab, and let's go to a new notebook. Go to, let's use GPU, sure. Although I don't think we need it actually. I'm going to use high RAM though. And I'm going to do what they said, which is Pip Install MLrun. Now, does this work? It would be amazing if it did. And what's happening? Well, we know that Colab is a beefy environment. It's weird. It seems actually faster than GitHub Codespaces. So this could be a new war. Who has got the best cloud-based IDE? I mean, I think it would be interesting actually if Google expanded Colab into a GitHub Codespaces competitor. It would be interesting. So far so good. It looks like PyArrow. Look at this, PyArrow, no problem on GitHub Codespaces. So there's something that is unique about. Oh no, of course no. It says warning. It's just a warning. It just says basically reboot. Okay, we'll reboot. Restart runtime. Okay, and then I think. Oh no, I think I can click this button. Yeah, restart the runtime, and let's try one more time now to do Pip Install MLrun. Aha, it's looking good. Okay, so this would be the answer then. With MLrun, I think you got to use Colab, and it was pretty smooth actually. And now I just do this. I do Pip Install scikit-learn, and there we go. And then next, we want to just import it. There we go. MLrun is working. Perfect. And now we can go through the tutorial. So basically, the MLrun project is a container, and the project hosts functions, workflow, artifacts, secrets. So basically everything you need for an ML project, which is an interesting idea. Source code, base image, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a one-shop stop for MLOps. And so if you register function code and basic info to the project, you can see here, like here's our code right here, the cancer code. I don't know, it didn't show up, but the trainer, this didn't show up. But basically, you would run data processing function on log artifacts right here, and you get this kind of result. So I think there should be. Is there a full example? So what we can do is let's try it out. So we can do this, register the function code and basic info of the project. So do we need to download this first? What do we need to do? So Pip Install. I think we would download this. Let's go ahead and do that. So say copy a link address and do wget. Did that work? No, I need to add the this thing to it. And then I need to do the trainer. So copy a link address and go to !wget, go here, and then go to download, copy a link address, and then do !wget, do that. Okay, so we got trainer, serving, etc. Now that I've got that, we can run this code. Let's run it. And project 6. So let's try this first. Let's do this. MLrun. Okay, so we got the project created. And if we go to projects dot, what do we got here? We got, if I do this, here we go. We got metadata, spec, status, initialize, secrets, artifact manager. So basically it's giving us a class that has a bunch of things associated with it. And then the project spec is saved to the root directory. I guess this would be for CI/CD. And then run using the SDK. So let's run this and let's see what happens. And let's do this. Okay. And so warning artifact is not defined. Okay, artifacts will not be visible in the UI. So there we go. We got some stuff happening here with MLrun to track these. Use the show or the logs methods. And what else can we do here in the quick start? So we're able to kind of get things cooking here. We're logging some information to the API. Now it's going to be logging to MLrun API 8080, which, does it show me this? Login runs to, okay. And then you can also invoke it. I think it has to be running, but let's see. Let's see if this works. Does this work? Okay, so you can also, that's pretty cool. So you can also use the MLrun command line tool to basically do like a batch-based execution to run your project, which is pretty useful. And then you can also print the run state in the outputs. So this definitely has some kind of similarities in some sense with MLflow, right? Where you have everything kind of packaged into a project. Now the difference, I guess, is that I don't have to use Spark kind of style, which is potentially helpful. I'm kind of more of a lukewarm on Spark. like for everything. And here we go. We've got a bunch of information about this data set, which is interesting. And then we can use the MLrun marketplace. So you can use a function to do, you can import one called a data analysis function. So basically there's a bunch of different capabilities you can add to it inside of MLrun. And so let's go ahead and copy this, and we'll add these. Wait, where am I? There we go. Let's add this in. So we can say describe, import the function, and then we can describe the run. So we can analyze the data set. So basically we can do some additional analysis here. So let's see here. Artifact path is not defined. Running an analyze function. And so it created some additional analysis for us. And this is where all that stuff shows up. And you can either show the logs or click here to open in the UI. Does it give us this? No, it doesn't give us this because this is running locally. If you were running in their cloud-based environment or managed service, it would give you something like this. So definitely kind of an interesting concept. And I guess you could also go through here and try this out, do the outputs. And so it gives you these different files. Now, I guess what you could do is you could go to this environment right here, look, and you could see describe CSV. So let's see. Lots. Yeah, so you can get all these artifacts right here and download them and play around with it. So definitely pretty interesting. And then if you want to train it, here we go. You would do this. You would say apply MLrun. You would give it the model. So let's go ahead and try that. Did I not import that? In the trainer code, oh, I see. In the trainer code, it says, notice the line. Apply model, accept the model object if there's optional parameters. I see. And we can also do this. Does this give us trainer run outputs? Here. I guess that shows up. That's in the code itself. That was probably downloaded trainer. So if I look at this code here, we can take a look at it. Functions learn. Here we go. I see. This is the bar here. Here's the part that trains. So definitely interesting. I mean, worth playing around with. The quick start here. I would say probably the collab version is definitely the way to go, just because PyArrow and all those kinds of libraries are just super complex here. But yeah, I'm glad I got a chance to play around with the new version of MLflow. MLrun. The MLrun also has some Docker-based workflows, so I could probably try that one out as well at some point. But yeah, fun stuff playing around with MLrun today. All right, see you next week.